Schumer, okay, refuses to step down from leadership despite the fact he should step down from leadership. Here it is.
It's important for people to know when it's time to go. Leader Schumer, are you feeling pressure to step down?
Look, I'm not stepping down. And let me just say this, Kristen. I knew when I cast my vote against against the government shutdown that it would be there'd be a lot of controversy, and there was. But let me tell you and your audience why I did it, why I felt it was so important. The CR was certainly bad, you know, the continuing resolution, but a shutdown would be 15 or 20 times worse.
Okay. He's being a politician in that answer, stubborn, okay, pivots, duck, dodge, deny, deflect. And then in this response, it makes you question his cognitive, well, here it is.
In your own party, they're saying, look, it's time for you to go. They no longer trust your leadership. They want somebody else in there. What do you say about that?
Here's what I said.
In your own party saying
yes.
That's to go.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm the best leader for the Senate. We have a lot of leaders. You know, when you don't have a president, there's not one leader of the party. There are lots of them. We have a lot of good people. But I am the best at keep winning Senate seats. I've done it in 2005. Just in 2020, no one thought we'd take back the Senate. Under my leadership, we took it.
Sir, put it up full mass. Oh, man. Chuck, you had a good run, okay? Now you will be stepping down. Sir, this party got a whole damn president to resign, all right? You will be stepping down. Now, I want to keep his picture up and analyze what he said here, because this is classic Trumpian, by the way. He's not pivoting to a greater good. He's not even highlighting the plan, the strategy, what we're going to do. Nothing. He is simply the best and the best. He's the best at winning elections. He's the best leader for the Senate. He caved on the government shutdown negotiations before it was even really a negotiation. All right, so here we go. Schumer acknowledged that the GOP-led funding bill that passed with support from Senate Democrats was, quote, certainly bad, but contended a government shutdown would be 15 or 20 times worse. Put Chuck up again. Chuck, we're already in a government shutdown. It's called Trump. 25% laid off here, 50% laid off there. More will be laid off soon. Elon Musk is in charge. We're about to head on a slippery slope. We are here. The slope has slipped. The government is being shut down, sir, with or without you. He argued that a shutdown would give the Trump administration, quote, sole power to determine what is essential, granting them latitude to further eviscerate the federal government. Chuck knows how government works. They don't need additional leverage. They don't. They're doing things adverse to their own constituents. So I think these are talking points. I'm not sure what his plan is. I'm concerned at this moment. So Schumer further contended there will be no, quote, off-ramp for a shutdown. And that only, quote, those evil people at the top of the executive branch could turn the lights back on. Quote, it was a vote of principle, Schumer said. He added his caucus has, quote, all agreed to respect each other over their differing opinion. Despite Schumer's public confidence, some House Democrats are urging their colleague, Representative AOC, behind closed doors to challenge him for a Senate seat in 2028. I really hope she does it. No senators have called for Schumer to step down, at least not publicly. But outside the Senate, he's hearing it from Democrats who want him to adopt more aggressive tactics. He doesn't know any. A recent interview, Schumer says his job is to keep the left pro-Israel. It's actually not your job. Literally, it's not what you get elected to do, Chuck. Chuck, I think you're confused, man. Quote, my caucus is overwhelmingly pro-Israel, he insisted to me, noting that when the Senate last year voted for, quote, the largest package of aid to Israel ever, I only lost 3 Democrats. He's bragging about losses. Another Trumpian check. Including Bernie Sanders, an independent who caucuses with the Democrats. But he also warned that, quote, the greatest danger to Israel long-term is if you lose half of America, the liberal half. On one of Netanyahu's previous visits to the U.S., Schumer said he urged the prime minister to, quote, go on Rachel Maddow and not just Sean Hannity. Netanyahu ignored the advice, and Schumer, in a speech, later called for new elections to replace him, for which he remains fiercely proud. It showed Democrats, he said, that it's possible to oppose Netanyahu while being a champion for the Jewish state. My job, he told me, is to keep Israel pro-left, and that's Brett Stevens from the New York Times. Just really fascinating stuff here. Chuck he's always been this guy. He's not going to really fight for you. There's no authenticity in his leadership. I believe he is holistically a politician and not a public servant. He is simply outmatched by the unorthodox politics of today. And it will take individuals who not only think out of the box, they didn't know a box existed for them. AOC was working at a restaurant when she got the call, felt the urge, joined the movement, ran for Congress. Senator Nina Turner would be a remarkable U.S. Senator, member of the House of Representatives. These individuals who have not been purchased by the same companies that purchased Trump. All right, Yasmin, thoughts?
Lots of thoughts here. It seems to me that there is an awful lot of distrust right now between the Democratic voters and the Democratic leaders. We would like to believe, for example, that people like Chuck Schumer make the decisions that they make because they're working with more information than we, the public or the voters, have. We would like to believe that whenever they blatantly go against the stated loud will of the people, that they have a good reason for doing so. Unfortunately, we're not really seeing that. We're not getting the reassurances that Chuck Schumer did what he did for our benefit and that in the long run, it will benefit the rest of us. He did not reassure us that there is some kind of plan in place to deal with the fallout that can come from passing this budget bill that was written by the Republicans. And I hate that he said, I'm the best leader for the Senate. Anyone who says things like that, in my opinion, should not be in charge of anything or anyone. The arrogance, the narcissism, I don't want that kind of person in any kind of leadership position, because what it breeds is this ostentatiousness and this immovability that we're seeing from Chuck Schumer right now. He is right. He knows he's right, and no one can tell him any different. And he's not going to listen to the rest of us because we don't know what we're talking about. He knows, he has all the experience, and he is the best one for that job. And this type of mentality is exactly the reason why we need turnover in Congress and in government in general. Right now, we have a lot of challengers, people who are trying to get into Congress or in other aspects of government to replace some of these older people. We have AOC, who, as you mentioned, people are asking her to challenge Chuck Schumer for his seat. We have people like Saykat Chakrabarty over in San Francisco, who's running for Nancy Pelosi's seat. We have Jake Auchincloss in Massachusetts. And I want to shout out Christian Menefee, who I'll tell you right now, he's one to watch. He's currently the county attorney here in Houston, and he's running for a seat in the House right now in the federal government. All of these people are in their mid 30s, but it's not about age. It's about the vigor, right? It's about having the audacity and the energy to fight for the things you believe in or for the things that would actually benefit your constituents. This old guard, their ideals and their ideas are outdated and very much out of touch. We know that they're beholden to corporations and billionaires, and we know that they're more actively courting billionaire donors now, which will only serve to further alienate themselves from their existing base, at least what's left of their existing base. Get them out of here. Like, thank you for your service, Senator, but you're done. Just know when it's over. One last thing. Where was this, I'm not leaving energy with Al Franken? The left tends to fall victim to its own high moral ground, but that's not the case now with Schumer because his demonstrated arrogance prevents him from recognizing when he may have lost the complete plot.
Very well said. And I want to echo the point about his leadership. Here's the actual problem. If you believe you're the best leader, that is a replacement because you do not challenge yourself to be the best leader you can be. The truth is, you're not the best leader. The truth is, you've made a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. But when you start contextualizing your public service role in the framework of a Walmart CEO, and you say nothing about servant leadership or the constituents, the issues, hell, you could have even said your colleagues voted you in and you want to make sure that you serve out this term, anything, but you didn't. All right. We're going to stay on top of this. As I said, I do believe that Schumer will be stepping down.